Today, I stand here as a representative, a voice, not for me, but for my older brother, Kavil, a remarkable individual whose journey, frankly, has illuminated the shortcomings of our underfunded education system, particularly for those with autism spectrum disorder, ASD. His story is truly one of resilience, of triumph over adversity, and has shaped my perspective on the urgent need for change. Allow me to share a story that deeply resonates within me and my family. My brother, a unique individual, possesses a brilliance that frankly defies convention, a passion for computers and coding that knows no bounds. The Sri Lankan education system, however, though well intentioned, struggles to recognize and nurture such unique abilities. Special needs schools, as they are known, only seem to exacerbate the challenges. In fact, in a matter of weeks, devoid of formal education due to increasing mental distress, my brother astonishingly taught himself to speak three languages: English, Sinhala, and Hindi, simply by immersing himself in televisions and cartoons, Chota Beam and so and so. This feat alone is a testament to the untapped potential within him, an extraordinary gift. And if that weren't enough, he delved into the intricate world of coding and, in fact, reverse engineering the code of Super Mario Bros. 3, as I'm sure all of you know, and creating his own ROM hacks, which are essentially altered versions of the same game, right? Today, now, he dedicates his time to crafting games in Unity and Unreal Engine 4, as it was second nature to him. Pushing the boundaries of what's possible, he's now a game developer. But now, for the people who have known people with autism spectrum disorder or who have autism spectrum disorder, my brother, his coping mechanisms with ASD were usually immersing himself in music and drawing and really just watching television a little. He really does enjoy doing what he developing games. It's one of his greatest pleasures. And I hope doing what you love and doing what and people with ASD doing what they love would help them cope with ASD and the societal challenges they face. Right now, moving on, the Sri Lankan education system, with its emphasis on rote memorization, standardized testing, and conventional discipline, often fails to provide an environment where individuals like my brother and others can thrive. It inadvertently sidelines a wealth of talents and abilities that exist within our diverse population, right? And so, in those environments, my brother's potential was stifled, his gifts overlooked. Instead of nurturing his talents, he was subjected to a system that, frankly, viewed his differences as deficiencies. And heartbreakingly, in those moments, there were moments of violence, of a misguided attempt to force conformity to a person that generally couldn't conform, right? And what we must understand here is that, ladies and gentlemen, what human can perfectly conform to a system? That's right, nobody can. And so, in our pursuit of standardization, we've fallen into the trap of the bell curve. It categorizes, it sorts, and leaves so many on the sidelines, on the outskirts, their potential overlooked. The bell curve implies a uniformity that simply does not exist in the vibrant tapestry of human potential. So, ladies and gentlemen, what can we do to dismantle this paradigm? Firstly, what we must understand is that we must pivot towards more personalized education plans and curricula that celebrate each unique unique student's strengths and address their specific challenges. This allows us to unlock their full potential, ensuring that they receive the support and resources they need. And what we must understand is that, moving on to my second point, inclusion and inclusive environments benefits not only those with ASD, but the entire community. Neurodivergence. By fostering an environment that embraces neurodiversity, we cultivate empathy, we cultivate understanding, and we create a richer learning experience for all. After all, bullying was something that my brother frankly had undergone many times, always brief stay in special needs schools, right, both by the teachers and the students. And now, on an additional note, what I personally find it deplorable that how autism is portrayed in the general media. with wide differences from reality in both main forms of depiction, frankly. Either completely incapable of caring for themselves or, uh, or savants of a new age, when in reality, autism, especially high functioning autism, in my brother's case, is perfectly normal. And I believe the media's portrayal of it simply demonizes and hampers the general populace's understanding and acceptance of neurodivergent individuals around the world. Now, moving on to my third point, teachers must also be equipped with specialized training and ongoing professional development. They must also be screened to see whether or not they are capable of handling neurodivergent students, such as screening to see whether or not they rely on conventional discipline, which most neurodivergent students and non-neurodivergent students, such as you all, wouldn't appreciate. Would you appreciate being hit for causing a slight mistake? Would you appreciate being caned? No. Any hands up? Would you appreciate being caned? No, right? Same applies for all neurodivergent individuals as well. And we can understand from the general state of hands, there's a negative reaction to being conventional discipline, and yet Sri Lanka, especially the Sri Lankan education system, routinely relies on these measures, right? And frankly, if we do implement the third measure, we would create inclusive, supportive classrooms that frankly amplify the potential of every student by embracing their differences as their strengths. So lastly, what we must understand is that I alone cannot make a change, right? I am not but a student. I cannot make policy reform. But what we must understand is that we can advocate for it. We can call out. We can raise movement to include, to change the policies that frankly have demonized people with ASD for so long in our nation. What we must understand is that there is very little to actually care for autistic and neurodivergent individuals in our nation, especially in regards to education, psychiatry, and psychological health, right? And frankly, what we must understand is that if we advocate for reforms, we should prioritize flexibility, accommodation, and funding that we clearly lack, because we focus on frankly not so pressing issues rather than the glaring lack of possible education for these individuals to support their nation. Even we must understand is that instead of burning money on political campaigns and whether or not frankly irrelevant shows of power and displays of wealth, we could instead focus on improving our education system, our healthcare system, to accommodate for neurodivergent individuals. And so we can ensure the student, regardless of their neurodivergent status, receives an education that empowers them. So, in conclusion, my journey alongside my brothers has ignited a fire within me, and I hope it has ignited a fire within all of you. A determination to see change. As his representative, as all neurodivergent individuals' representative, my purpose is to amplify his voice and the voice of the underrepresented and advocate for a more inclusive education system. The power lies within each of us as students and as teachers and as educators and as the future to advocate for a new system, to advocate for a better system, to frankly shatter the binds that keep such neurodivergent individuals and their potential locked away. Let's and together pave a way for a truly inclusive education system. Thank you.